And this is the same thing. We're always having to make decisions. And it's like, if you're going to pray for something and you got to make a decision on something, is the decision that you making leading you towards what you prayed for, or you praying for one thing and still doing another?
Despite the decisions that we sometimes make, God still makes a way for us. But also understanding that how much easier your life could be if you just decide to make the right decisions. And that decision has to align with the things that God is telling you to do. So for
Yeah.
hey y'all. Mhm. And we back. 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 We are back with another episode of the You're Done podcast. We're almost done with season 6. I'm so
Crazy.
proud of us.
I know. Round of applause for us, these pregnancies, and still giving y'all great conversations each and every week.
Exactly. Because you see how I'm dressed today. Look, I'm almost to the finish line. I'm doing what I can.
You almost there, Shouty. 4 weeks.
I'm almost there. But I was just
I'm
telling
about to be
Corey,
an auntie, y'all.
I said, whenever me and Brittany like get older and stuff like that, I said maybe Nova and Breland can take over the podcast. we can keep it in the
Listen,
family.
Breland can talk, so it's gonna be a heck of a conversation. I tell you that. Shit. Yeah, it's gonna continue for sure.
I don't know Nova's personality yet, but she'll talk, I'm sure.
They'll balance
If
each
it's with
other
her
out.
cousin.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it'll be fine. It's gonna be just fine.
But
Just
until
don't
then,
be
y'all
out
stuck with
here.
us, bro.
Just don't be out here saying, you know what, y'all doing way better than y'all mamas. Pause. Hold on.
Hold up.
We taught
It
them
wouldn't be
everything
no
they
you're
know.
done. Right. Without Big Desto and Be More. Okay, it wouldn't be no you're done without us. It wouldn't be no them without us.
They're done.
So don't switch up.
That part. And on that note, before I forget, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves, because we fit to go right into this topic.
Oh,
But it's your girl.
hey y'all, it's Big Desto, not the little one.
And Be
My
More,
bad.
nevertheless.
And we
We
back.
was about to get sidetracked.
I forgot that part. I ain't gonna lie. But it's okay.
It's okay. You pregnant. You almost there.
Right. But Brittany gonna tell y'all what the topic is today. Cause she
Okay.
chose the topic today.
I
And
did.
I was like, it's a good topic, but I was like, what will I say about that?
You don't have a lot to say about this, okay? So the topic for today is, does the decision serve the life I'm praying for? And I feel like even when I wrote out the title for this particular topic, my thought process was, a lot of times we will sit and we will pray for something and we'll ask the Lord for something, and then along the way, I'm not saying that the Lord isn't going to tempt you, but you will go through things. And in the Bible, it never says that you're not going to have hard times and you're never going to have to make a decision on what to do, what not to do, what to give up, what to remain in. And I think a lot of times we're praying for things and we're wanting a door to open, but we're still steadily looking at something else. And it's like, oh, there's no way he's going to tell me to come from over here to get over there. So you're essentially blocking your own blessing. You're continuing to pray for something, thinking that the Lord left you on unread, when really and truly he's trying to pull you in a different direction. And because you won't be obedient or continue to trust him, you're trying to have both. And he's like, if you let that go, I'll give you way more than you ever thought of. And I think for me, a lot of times I'm always in my head like, if I asked for this and you gave me that, and now I'm praying for this, why would I leave that behind? But baby, once I get the decision to say, okay, I'm going to listen to you, and I leave it
Right.
behind, he'd be like, now look at it. And I'd be like, it would have been crazy if I had both of these at the same time. But I also believe that sometimes I do go through things because if I can't handle what God has already blessed me with, there's no way he's going to give me more. He's like, you can't handle a little bit. So that's really what this topic is all about. And last week, I can't remember if it was episode 7 or 8, but I know we were I know I was speaking on decisions, and you have your spirit and your flesh. And this is the same thing. We're always having to make decisions. And it's like, if you're going to pray for something and you got to make a decision on something, is the decision that you making leading you towards what you prayed for, or you praying for one thing and still doing another? But I think that's also where faith and everything is, because I remember at one point I was stressing out over something, and I had called mama, and
Mhm.
and she reminded me, like, the Lord knows you got to eat. The Lord knows that you need to provide for your kids. The Lord knows you need a roof over your house. So if he's moving you in one direction, there's no way he's going to say, I'm going to move you over here, but you ain't going to be able to eat for 30 days. Like, where they do that at? Like, he's not going to do
Like,
that.
wait a minute.
Now, right. Now, you very well could make a decision that would lead you to not being able to eat for 30 days. But there's no way
Okay.
he's going to say, quit your job, move to Chicago. We don't know where you going to live or what you going to eat or how you going to get there, but you need to be in Chicago. That's not going to happen. And I believe that because I'm going to give y'all a really quick story. I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but when I was graduating from Texas Women's University with my bachelor's, I needed a job. I was going to have to go back home because I had no job after graduating college. So it was coming up on the summertime. I'm applying for all of these jobs. I end up crying with my best friend, Asia, and we go eat froyo, which is like my totally favorite thing to do at that time. So we go to Sweet Frogs, if you know, you know. And she's like, just apply to all jobs that you're qualified for. So I'm applying to everything, y'all. It's a job out in Virginia. Now, one, it's a part-time job. I'm like, what? I ain't gonna get no benefits. I ain't, then it's out of state. How I'm supposed to get there? I already ain't got no money. So either way, I end up applying. I get a call, and they need me to come out there for an interview. Now, my job, I just told you, I really ain't got no money, but I have been diligent, and I have a savings account, which I was trying to keep just in case I had to go home and keep paying my car note without a job. So I called my friend. I was like, okay, I did the phone interview. It went well. They want me to do it in person. I have no way to do it in person. She's like, we gonna figure it out. She finds me a flight. Now, mind you, $300. Okay, back then, that was a lot of money for you, girl. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. I book a flight. Now I have to stay an additional 2 days because it's cheaper to come back on like a Monday versus coming back in a weekend. Now I done lied to my mama. My mama think I'm back in Denton, y'all. I'm in a whole nother state doing the interview because I don't want to tell her that I done spent a portion of my savings to come do this interview in Virginia. She called me. I am lying. I am lying through my teeth. Lord forgive me. But I do the interview, and while I'm there, I'm like, dang, I really don't have enough to stay in this hotel that I'm staying in. A guy that I dated back in high school, his parents just so happened to be visiting in Virginia. They give me the rest of their stay. So they were there visiting. They ended up deciding to leave early. So them 2 days that I had to stay, I took their 2 days in their hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm already like, oh, and then I don't have a rental car because I needed the rental car only to get to the interview, and I got to take it back because I ain't got no money. Took the rental car back. So now I'm stuck in this hotel, but I ain't paying for it. Now I'm down there eating the continental breakfast. But I made that situation work for you, girl. I end up going back to Denton, and then I go home. I move out of my apartment and I come home. I get the job. Now I gotta find somewhere to live. But I still ain't told my mama that I went there in person. So I can't technically fly to look at apartments, so I have to do everything online. I start looking at Craigslist. Yeah, I heard of the Craigslist killer. I was like, this is crazy. I'm going to get got. So I decide not to do that. I end up going on 2 other sites. I end up finding the exact same person on both sites. I don't remember what the sites were, but the exact same person. I'm like, bump it. I'm a message the girl. We'll see what happens. And I tell her, I can't come up there. This is my situation. I just got a job, blah, blah, blah. I can't put a deposit down. I give her all my details. She calls me and she wants to FaceTime to show me the apartment and so we can meet. I'm like, that's good because I want to know who you are since I'm going to be living with you. She was going to be my roommate. She showed me the apartment. It's nice. She seems cool. And we get to the end of us doing our little thing. And then she goes, so where are you going to be working at? So I tell her where I got the job at. And she said, say that again. And I tell her again, like, did she not hear what I said? Does she not know anything about Virginia? And y'all, when I say God works, when God says he's going to give you something that you've been praying for, and even if it seems small, it doesn't seem like this is where I'm supposed to go. These are the type of things he going to make happen for you. She literally said, you're kidding me. And I said, have you heard of the place? And she said, I work there. She was the occupational therapist upstairs. So I was going to be exercise physiologist downstairs. She worked with the patients that had to be, she was in assisted living. So I'm working with the people who can roam around freely. You know, they got their right mind for the most part. It was a retirement home. And so we in the downstairs gym and she was working upstairs. And she said she had like 3 other people looking at the apartment. She get off the phone. 30 minutes later, she calls me back and she says, you know what? I was going to go ahead and let the other people look at the apartment, you know, see if they could put the deposit, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? If the job trusts you enough to fly you out here to take this job, I trust you to live with me. I was able to move in, not put a deposit down. She gave me the first month rent free. Then she gave me the master bedroom with the bathroom in it. I did not pay extra for that. I didn't have to buy pots and pans because she was okay with me using hers. So I pretty much went down there like just settling myself in, at least for the first month until I got my first paycheck. And then on top of that, Destiny rode with me in my little cobalt.
I did.
Yes. So that I can move into my apartment. And so I have to remind myself sometimes of those type of moments because, like I said, there is no way I should have been able to survive and feed myself and house myself and clothe myself in that moment, considering that for 2.5 weeks, y'all, I literally lived out of my car because I was still trying to work at my job in Denton, but my lease had already ended on my apartment. So I was like calling friends to try and sleep on their couch, but all my stuff was in my car. And I was not telling my mama none of this because I needed money. And I was like, this gotta work out. And it did. And it was the best thing I could have done. I mean, I met my husband in Virginia. We moved to South Carolina. So it's just like, I know that was a long story, but it's just really proving that the Lord will not lead you one way and then say, I'm going to give you this, but don't worry about anything else. He won't do that to you. So if you're going to trust him with what you praying for and asking for, trust that those little things that we don't tend to think about, you know, I know, I'm not saying you don't think about a roof over your head, but like you don't think, okay, when I move to this job, you know, like, oh man, I'm going to have to live in the ghetto. You just like, no, I'm going to find me a nice apartment. I'm going to be living in the tent. No, you're going to find yourself a nice apartment because the Lord has blessed you with what you asked for. You know, you may not get the penthouse, but you know, you're going to get what you can afford and you're going to be comfortable and he's going to keep you comfortable. So hopefully that encourages someone today.
Because it encouraged me and then it made me think about, like, I've made decisions too that, okay, let me hold on. The topic, let me go make sure because, you know, I will get all over the place.
That's okay.
Am I upon wait, that's not it. Does this decision I can't read.
Yeah,
Does the decision serve the life I'm praying for? Okay, I've done that. I've made a decision.
Yeah.
That totally okay, so here's the so Brittany made a decision and God made a way for her. And obviously he made a way for me too, but your
Yeah.
decision wasn't like quite a situation where if you made that decision, something I guess something bad could have came out of it. But for me, I kind of knew that it was not a good decision. Like if I have to,
Mm.
like I'm making this decision, I'm praying for one thing, right? But I want to do something else, so I did
Yeah.
it. And like you said, even though the decision that I decided to make went against the things that I'm praying for, God
Yeah.
still sustained me, right? So I guess the whole point of this is despite so it's not the whole point, but part of it is despite the decisions that we sometimes make, God still makes a way for us. But also understanding that how much easier your life could be if you just decide to make the right decisions. And that decision has to align with the things that God is telling you to do. So for me, I said, hey, God, I know I prayed for this. And I know we've been talking about, you know,
Yeah.
but hold on. I just got to see. I just got to see. And I went and saw and child blew up in my face. And look, it
Okay,
ended up
so
working out in
question.
the end. What?
Did you make the decision out of the fear that what you was praying for wasn't going to come to fruition, or were you making the decision at that time because you just felt like, "Nah, I feel good about it right now, so I know I prayed for this, but I can also go ahead and move forward on this situation as well."
I don't know what I was doing. I was just making decisions.
Because
Because the
I
thing
think we
is,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the thing is when I was in the process of making the decision, I
Mhm.
literally I think I've said this on the podcast. I went to daddy and I said, "Do you think that if God has brought you out of something and you decide to basically go back into it, that he'll be like mad at me or he'll do,
Yeah.
like what do you think God is gonna say?" And I don't remember what daddy said, but I literally asked that. So that and asking that in itself lets me know that I knew that it
This was
wasn't
a
the best
bad
decision.
decision.
And I did it anyway. And so I've learned from that situation. But
Uh-huh.
so like that's what I'm saying. Like now when I'm praying and I'm like, I want this from God, I have to learn to be a lot more intentional with, okay, I asked God for this. What am I gonna do to set not that you have to set yourself up because like Brittany's situation, everything worked out for her, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like you said, you can't self-sabotage your own blessings by getting
Yeah.
in the way of and also just like you want it in a certain way, you want it when you want it. So now I'm going out doing what I think is the best thing. So it's like, what's the point of
Mm.
praying if you was gonna do what you wanted to do anyway? And so I'm trying to well, now I've learned because child,
Yeah.
look. So I had to learn, I guess you could say I had to learn the hard way to make sure that the decisions that I am making aligns with the things that I'm asking God for or the things that he's telling me because why would you want to like you can go and pray for something and that's girl, I keep going back to this thing about and I don't know why, but in my head my brain keep telling me about like I said, I'll pray for something and just be like, okay, yeah, I pray for that and it kind of just it don't happen right away, so I kind of like forget about it. I don't know, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, pay for that, whatever," but I don't ever really think about it. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. So I'm just trying to learn how to
Do you
I'll
think
pray
it's
for
too
if we doing
far-fetched?
I think sometimes, like that's okay. So in those moments, I'm praying because my faith is strong. Lord, I need X, Y, and Z. I need this. I
Yeah.
need that. Right. And then obviously, I wake up the next day, the circumstance is still the same.
Yeah.
And I so it's like, okay, I'm just gonna make do with what I got right now, if that makes
Okay.
sense. So
Yeah.
in the moment of making do, I guess I can sometimes find myself making certain decisions that go against what I've already asked God to do this miracle in my life, and obviously He didn't do it overnight. So now I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I need something to shake right now, a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. It would be
Need
nice if it did.
$200 by tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes God is just saying, "I'm gonna do it."
Yeah.
if you just relax. So learn to not make those decisions without like you it don't it's not gonna always happen right
Yeah.
away. And I feel like that's always been my circumstances of being like, yeah, I prayed for it and I know God said, but like Brittany said, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this $20 by tomorrow. I don't. And God is like, girl, I already figured out tomorrow. I'm already in next year and you're worried about
Yeah,
tomorrow. After
that
I just
part.
told you not to worry about tomorrow, because what does worrying, it does not add nothing to your life.
None.
Told you that.
And
And
there's a
so
Bible verse
that
on that to leave, don't worry about tomorrow.
yeah.
'Cause
So don't be like me, y'all.
no,
Don't pray
well,
for one thing and then try to figure it out on your own.
so pretty much you're trying to pray for one thing and then assist God, and then along the way decisions have to be made, and you like, well, since this has approached itself, this must be the way to go because I gotta get this $200 by tomorrow. And he's like, if
Exactly.
you just leave the 200 behind, baby, I'll give you the 400 by tomorrow.
That part.
But you done settled. Okay. So I
Mhm.
think sometimes I do the same thing because I'm always mixing faith and work together. At least in my mind, that's what I think I'm doing. But really, what I'm doing is instead of keeping God at the center, I put fear in the middle of it because I'm
Mm.
fearful that I'm going to miss out. I'm fearful that I'm going to lose something. And now that I have kids, I'm always fearful of the decisions that I'm going to make is going to be is going to do something that's going to jeopardize something that I could do for my kids. It could be as simple as like I mean, I need clothes. I mean, my body isn't the same. Some things I used to feel comfortable in at this current moment, I don't feel comfortable in. And to spend $80 on myself made me, I was like, but I ain't took no baby pictures of douche yet, or I haven't done this yet, and I gotta fly out there so I can see my niece when she's born. And if I spend the $80, like that's taken away from this flight, and it's like, girl, it's $80. Get the shirt. You need a
Exactly.
shirt. And so I get in my own head about a lot of things, and really it's out of fear, but you can't. I'm not, and it's easier said than done. And I say that because I'm telling y'all that I do tend to keep fear, but then I have to like literally I always say like I need to calm my central nervous system down because I'm always in like this fight or flight mode of feeling like I either need to be defending something to keep what I have, or I need to be moving and working to keep going so I can get something. And it's like,
Mhm.
chill out. What if you just prayed about it and then just did what you capable of, which is to love your kids, to be present with your kids, to just take your kids to that free park in the neighborhood, to do they have conversations with them, to make dinner, to make them their favorite snack. I don't have to take my kid to Disneyland to show that I love them. Would I love to take my kids to Disneyland one day? Of course. It's definitely on my list. And I done told myself I'm taking Brielle to Disneyland before she graduated high school. I done gave myself a big, wide gap. All three of my kids will be old enough to remember this experience.
Mhm.
But I used to put so much pressure on myself in saying, like, if I didn't do it by this age, or if I didn't keep my house aesthetically pleasing and clean, or if I didn't do this with Bria, if I didn't make the little snack packs, like they're gonna grow up with this childhood of feeling like, well, where was mama? Mama didn't do nothing but work out and do a podcast, and I'm like, I feel like I'm so much more than that. And I'm always hoping that I'm showing them that. But because
Mhm.
I'm fearful, I will stop myself from doing stuff. And I think you can apply that to just about anything that you're asking God for. And as you're continuing to move, because you're fearful that you're either going to lose something or you're going to gain something that you really didn't want to gain in the first place. Like, I ain't want them problems, Lord. Or you viewing them as problems. And he's like, go through here.
Mhm.
I already brought you out of one thing, so you already know how to handle this situation. Go ahead and jump over that. Okay, that's a benefit because that person gonna lead you to this person, and now boom. Now look at you. I got
Literally.
$800 by tomorrow.
Literally.
We just gonna keep going up on this money. Get the bag, sis. The Lord said it's
Exactly.
yours.
I think that's a good point though, because I found myself like I said, I'm praying for one thing, and I battle with the idea of, like you said, if I'm not doing what God has blessed me with the little, why would He? If I'm not doing good with the little, why would He bless me with more? And so I'm praying for a new job. I'm praying for, just different circumstances, because obviously my circumstances are
Yeah.
changing. And so I'm trying to like figure it out. But I also sometimes find myself, like you said, are the decisions I'm making today making me worthy? I guess I'm not gonna say worthy. Would it make God want to bless me with more? So like right now, y'all, I'm pregnant, okay? And I'm annoyed. Going to work is annoying. Some kids are annoying. And a lot of the times I hate to be like, oh, I'm too pregnant for this and just blame everything on being pregnant. But I got 11 kids asking me 50 questions. I was like, class just started 10 minutes ago, and I have been asked 30 questions. And it's just like, I cannot live like this. So I'm fighting daily to make like, look, God, I'm doing it. I'm showing up every day. I may not be the nicest, but I'm here and I'm trying. So like I'm praying God for God to do something in my life. But am I stewarding what He gave me in this season properly in order for me to get the things that He has in store for me? And that's why I'm saying like I feel like I'm making good decisions most of the time, but
Yeah.
then I also fall short because I am like, you know what? I hate it here. I don't mind letting people know I hate it here.
Well, hold on. But hold on. Okay, reminding people that you hate it here. Okay, I think in those things, yeah, because we always, y'all know my thing here lately has been controlling my tongue, and the tongue is powerful. It's a very small muscle, but it has a lot of power in it. So I think being able to control your tongue is one thing, but if it's an emotion, if you're annoyed, that's an emotion. I can be annoyed and still be nice to somebody. Like you like right now, you're tired, but you're showing up and doing the podcast, right? You're not pissing me off. You ain't saying nothing wrong to me. You ain't text me this morning saying, girl, you know I'm tired and you put this thing on here. You're done because I really ain't feel like talking to you. Like you very
Right.
well could have came. Now that's one thing. But she got on here and she said she's tired. You could have very well went to work and be like, I am annoyed today. But you answered them kids' questions and then you went back. I think I say this, I'm talking to myself as I'm telling you, but I think we suppress the emotion of which we're really feeling because, again, like I said, I always feel like my house is supposed to be like super clean, but I got 3 kids, y'all. One pooping and peeing on himself, doing blowouts every other day on me and him. The other one is up here doing cartwheels, got gymnastics mats all over my dang on house. And the other one is drawing everything she see on YouTube. Okay. I got color pencils everywhere. This is and blush. What are we doing here? And so no, my house is not gonna be super clean. But I guarantee you ain't got no roaches, no ratchets. No, roaches, no ratchets. Lord, no roaches or rats. And anybody could come to my house right now and sit on the couch and enjoy themselves, and it's gonna smell like a Bath and Body Works candle, okay? Or Walmart one. It depending on what that budget was looking like that month. And that's my business.
They all burn the same.
They all burn the same. They all smell good. So I think because we're not having this joyous feeling, then it's like I'm going against God, but God, I'm pretty sure had his sad moments. He felt sad. He was very angered with how people did things. But it never dictated how he responded to someone. So I think as long as we're responding to someone with kindness and patience, but still understanding where we are in the season as well of my emotions today as I'm annoyed, then that's okay. I think when we don't do that, then that's when you come off and then you go, yeah, I did that wrong. Because when Breon's pissed me off, instead of me saying, Bree, when you did X, Y, and Z, that really hurt my feelings, and I really just needed your help in that moment. I really didn't need you to try to show me anything or tell me what I should have been doing. This is how I needed you to show up for me in this moment. I'm a much sweeter person And then he'll do exactly what I said in a much sweeter way. But once I keep telling myself, I'm good, I'm a mom, I'm supposed to be able to breastfeed my baby, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. And then he come in there and he don't give me a hug. Well, what the hell wrong with you? Because we're right here. You know what? So apparently I'm invisible. Everybody wanted to think that I'm just supposed to be around here doing everything.
And it's like, girl,
like,
calm down.
like, what? You need a drink, a stiff one.
Right. You actually need to go pray.
You need to go pray on your knees. Where's the prayer closet? Go to any closet in this house and you take your time in there.
So, okay, I guess that's a good point because like I said, I feel like that's what I'm battling with when it comes to
Yeah.
trusting what God is telling me, but also like just being a human at the end of the day.
And
I
growing
do
up.
be tired. Right. But I am tired, and maybe God isn't looking at it as harshly as I am.
Yeah.
Like I said, I show up every day.
Yeah.
I literally I've taken off I've been pregnant this whole school year. I have literally only taken off once just because I said not today. Outside of doctor's appointments, I'm at work. And so every day I'm showing up, and like kids, they don't care that you pregnant. They don't care that you got a lot going on. They don't care that I done said 5 times what the answer was. And then here's somebody asking me for something and then over kicking me in the ribs. They don't care. I just have to keep going. But I do get overwhelmed, and I am like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, some days, okay, and not some days, but it has happened before that I'm teaching a lesson, I'm doing everything trying to teach it, and nobody wants to listen to me. Oh, I went and sat down. You're, look, you're lucky I'm here. I don't have to be here. I could have called off. I could have used that little day, but it's just like some days I do get very overwhelmed. So I'm trying to learn to like not allow my circumstances get in the way of the things that God has said that He has planned for me. And even
Yeah.
though I may not have the best days at work, doesn't mean that God is still not going to bless me with something greater coming, sooner. I mean,
Right.
later. And so I'm trying to make sure that what I'm doing is, like you said, sometimes you mix the faith with the work so much that you kind of the faith part is like, hey, remember me, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm working. And and so I have to learn how to allow God to essentially make the decisions for me, I guess. Like it's not always up to me to make a decision. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just right now this is where you need to be. I heard what you prayed for, but right now this is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's nothing for you to do. It's nothing for you to do. I
No.
heard you. Just keep doing what I've called you to do for right now. And I feel like that's what I struggle with a lot is just understanding that it's not always going to be, oh, look at that prayer. I prayed that last night. What a miracle that was. And or you may find yourself in a situation like me where you pray for something, and I was praying. I'm watching church. I'm going to church. I'm doing all of that in that season of when I decided I'm going to make this decision anyway. I'm it makes no sense. I'm literally doing all the things. I'm praying, I'm reading my Bible, I'm doing everything, and I still went out of my way to make a decision that went against.
Yeah. Oh,
Child.
before I
What?
forget, this just came to me, and then maybe it was the Lord, but let me say my thoughts because it was in my head. I'm gonna say it, and hopefully it makes sense. I think Destiny usually is the one who does this, so come around, y'all. But God is still God. That was what was, as you were saying that. That's what I was reminded of. I think one, we forget that God pulled us out of one thing, or not even pulled you out of something. Maybe you was doing really well, and then you asked for a promotion, and then He gave it to you. It was like one good thing after another. We
Mhm.
forget that as we continue to move on, as we continue to ask for more, as our cup is continuing to overflow, for whatever reasons, it's like we think less of what God can do. It's like, well, I asked for this small thing, and that happened. Like I just asked for a nice boyfriend, and I got a nice boyfriend. And that wasn't too bad. But now I want me and my boyfriend to get married and have a big old house. And I want one kid. Okay, well, everybody do that. So the Lord can give me that because he already nice. And then the moment you get all of that, then it's like, well, now I just don't want to work and I want to be self-sufficient and I want my podcast. And it's just like, well, who only one out of 1,300 people can do that? I definitely, how could I be the one? Like, how long is that going to take me? And at some point, I think we literally forget that God is still God. So if he could do the little and now I'm here for the big, why don't I think he can do the big part? Like, and I think we get stuck in that we literally, and that's why you start working so much more. I think when you think of something being very small, you really don't put in that much work. You really assume that it's going to come when it need to come. There was no once you had them crappy relationships and you decided we ain't doing that no more. And Corey came on, I don't ever recall you saying like you did anything. Like you was just big chilling. And then he come in the DMs. Talking about he was just saying hi. Saying your outfit was cute.
Literally.
You know, and it was nothing. It just happened. And then that went on and, you know, and so, yeah, it's like, thank God he was nice. So then it's like, well, thank you, God. Right. But you ain't think nothing of it. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Clearly God worked on my behalf. But now that you in your blessing and now you asking for something else, it's like you don't think God can work as well as he did before.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't minimize God because God can
Right.
do exceedingly and abundantly but above anything that we could ever do. So I think we have to be reminded that whether you assume what you asking for is small, medium, or the Lulu, like God is still God in all of those seasons. And even if you fall short, he's still God. And he will sustain you in your season of you feeling down. And I think it's important to remember that. And then sometimes going back to saying, to remembering that for me to even ask what I'm asking for now means that he's carried me from the very first thing that I asked for. Like he's already done this before. He can do it again,
Mm.
you know?
Right.
So we have to sometimes be still, continue to listen, but then not accept and like sit down and lay down to it, but say like this is a season. Like you're not gonna like I know you feel like you've been pregnant for forever, but you're not gonna be pregnant for forever. Not saying that kid probably still ain't gonna get on your nerve and ask you them questions, but your annoyance should go down at some point, you know? So
Right.
I think we have to also remind ourselves like this is a season. Like not sleeping at night, I have to remind myself like this is a season. And then I'll just give him a hug and I'm like, he's not going to be this little forever. Am I tired? Yes. But then I just smell him and I just look at him and I just thank God for him. And then eventually he go to sleep and then I go to sleep. And then luckily don't do my Deucey because Deuce was asleep for 8 hours last night and then 10 hours the night before.
Oh, that's right, Deuce.
Round of applause for my boy. So
But yes.
yeah.
So just allowing God to, like you said, be God. It's not
Yeah.
always, but if you are in a season where you are making certain decisions, I think we said this on the podcast before too, of just understanding that if you're gonna make a decision, at least consult God about it first.
Yes.
Cause you don't wanna, cause like I said, I made that decision and it's not to say like God brought me through it, but I definitely made it a little harder than it had to be. Cause I decided to make a decision that went against what it was that he was, telling me to do. So
Mhm.
whenever you are making decisions, it is important to ask yourself, is this aligning with the things that I'm asking of God or the things that God is telling me? And if you pray about something, child, don't be like me and kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Be intentional about the things that you're praying for and listen
Yeah.
to God and what it is that he has to say to help you get to where you're trying to go. Or at least even if it's not him telling you what to do to get there, at least you'll be a lot more obedient to whatever it is that he's calling you to do because it's not always something that you personally have to do, but rather
Yeah.
just being obedient in a season of being still, being obedient in a season of listening to what
Mhm.
it is that he's calling you to do. It doesn't always mean actual physical work, labor.
Yeah.
Like we said before, work is sometimes being still. And I feel like that's what I have struggled with, of praying for something and listening to God and being like, yeah, that all that sound good, right? But what we gonna do about right now? What
Today,
about right
Lord.
now? And God is like, I'm actually using right now to get you to where what you're asking me for. If you just sit down and shut up. I
That
wonder if God
part.
sometimes be saying that, like, girl, didn't I already tell you?
That's exactly what he be saying. I think I literally sometimes be thinking like the Lord talk just like I talk. My
Because
dialect
he
and
know
his
that's all I
dialect,
understand.
and listen, and he be like, if I could come down now and be with your
Right.
sinful self.
He like, don't make me come down there because he can't come.
You better be glad I sent the rainbow, because I was gonna flood you out because you're tripping.
Cause you getting on my nerves. Let's just start over again. Then he be like, I gotta remember, I made a promise.
part. That part. And believe that he will. This is so random. This is so random. We gonna get ready to close this episode out. But I forget the girl name on Instagram. But just as a reminder to, like, God is God, right? And that the things in the Bible is happening. They have discovered on Mount Everest, like seashells and fishes and like
Seashells.
yeah, in the mountain. Now, y'all, I know if you don't know nothing, whether you a believer or not, y'all know Noah in the ark, okay? Y'all know them two
Right.
animals of every kind. And they went on that ark and he flooded everything, okay? And they say it went high up. Okay, he flooded the whole place. So I also am like, these, like, everybody, like, they first you came out with dinosaurs, which that's some BS in my opinion. I leave that where it's at. But they're literally proving to you that these things of which we're reading in the Bible has actually occurred. Like, how else would a fish, like flying
You on the
that, now I
mountain.
know somebody gonna be like, well, there are flying fish. Ain't no flying fish going to Mount Everest. So all
Right.
I'm saying.
Literally.
And how he get up there? So I'm really at this point in life too, and Destiny and I are saying we've made bad decisions. We're probably gonna make another bad decision. But I'm hoping that as we continue to grow in our faith, as we continue to say God is still God, as we continue to sit with the word long enough, that the decision that you make doesn't have to be as detrimental or something that you have to work so much harder to get out of. I've done things that I'm like, it took me about a year to get that situation together. You know what I'm saying? But now it's
Right.
like, okay, I made the decision. Probably wasn't the best one. Let me go ahead and take these 3 months to pay that credit card off, because I know dang well I didn't have to get the shirts, the altar, the the candles, and the 4 pair of shoes at one time. At one, he didn't say do it. He said, get the 3 shirts and sit
And
down.
go home.
Go home, put the card back up on the shelf. So it's just, reminding ourselves to slow down, and hopefully you're able to be reminded of his word while making your decisions. You always got a decision to make, and it may not always be the one you want to make in that moment, but hopefully you can settle in on his word, that as you're making decisions, whether they feel 100% where you should be going at that moment or not, that you know that he's with you. And hopefully, again, it's not a decision that's going to take you years to get yourself out of, because I think that's when we start really beating ourselves up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what you done with?
Yeah.
Pregnant mama?
Um, I'm done with um not allowing, like, I guess I'm done with praying for something and not giving God the space to actively work in my life. Like, I will pray for something and I'll be like, "Ooh, but this sounded good when I prayed for it, but I don't know. Let me," or I'll go pray for something else because I feel like that's just too, out of the ordinary. Like, I don't know. So I start doing things that I feel like can get me there faster. It's literally just allowing God to be God and to work on my behalf, and knowing that if he put it on my heart to ask for it, why wouldn't he be able to do it? Duh.
Duh.
And so I just reminding myself of these things. And even when I do slip up and I make a bad decision, or like I go to work and I have a bad day, and it does not mean that God still doesn't have a plan for me. Because I will get in my own head about it like, ooh, I did real bad today. I did not have to go off like that. But I did, Lord. I'm sorry I made a bad decision, but I'm still worthy of that blessing, right?
Right? Amen.
So yeah.
Oh man,
What you done with?
this was a good topic. I feel like in this season of my life, I'm done with minimizing God's ability to work in my life. Like nothing that I ask for is too small. And nothing that he can do is, is too small. He can do way more than I can even think of. And half the time, something that I'm dreaming of or praying for is probably seeming very small to him. And I'm thinking it's about the most gigantuous thing I could ever pray for. Like, I ain't never prayed
Mhm.
for that, Lord.
You gonna do that for me?
Right? But let me? Okay. I ain't mad at you. Do your big one.
Big God, not the little one.
Not the little one. So I think I'm just done. I think I'm done playing on God's abilities. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I think I'm playing on my man's top.
Exactly, especially if you out here making decisions thinking that whatever you was finna do was gonna be better than what he had planned.
Get,
Now that's dumb. I
get
was dumb
raggedy.
when I did.
Get you big
Real
dummy.
dumb. Right. Don't be dumb. So just, give God that space to just work. Just say,
Yeah,
do it what it is that he gave you, and when more is in season for you, then that's when it will come. Because you also don't want, like, let's say he give it to you prematurely and then you ruin it.
yeah,
So,
and move
steward what you got,
boldly.
sister.
Move boldly in your decisions. If you keeping him in the midst of it, even if you feel fearful, again, if I can recite a verse, if something comes up and I'm like, ooh, I'm like, okay, I'm going for it. And I will do it scared. That
Mhm.
that don't mean I'm going to go out here and get a new car just because I want one. That's crazy. Yeah, and I think we
Right.
all can say we know what the crazy stuff is that you be out here doing when you talking about getting out of that. That's crazy. And then,
Yeah.
other things, but move boldly and, sometimes do it in fear. And if God is giving you a word or you feel it in your spirit and you know it's from him, because, like I said, most of the time I can go back to a Bible verse just off the dome. I may not remember the book, but I remember something I read or something I wrote down in my journal. And
Mhm.
when I can be reminded of those things, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm about to do
Yeah.
it scared and I'll go for it. And that's fine to do too. So hopefully, y'all having some bold weeks out there, putting God in the
Right.
front and the center, all around that thing.
Man, let God work in your life, sister, brother.
Amen.
Don't be out here
Well,
making decisions willy-nilly.
Lee Willie where he at.
Exactly. Exactly. Willie ain't no good. Oh, that's Corey grandpa name.
We got a cousin named Willie.
Oh, yeah? And he ain't no swear.
No, Willie good. I need to call Willie, by the way, while I'm
And
playing.
no, for real. He'll clean your car real good. I need to call cousin Willie.
No, for real. Willie, if you see this.
Right. Call him up. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We gonna see y'all. We got one more episode for this season. Oh, we gonna tell them about the extra stuff that we're doing for season 6?
Yeah, well, no, we can't because it would have
Oh,
already come out in the middle of this,
oh yeah. Never mind, y'all already know.
right? So pretty much what we saying is y'all better be tuning in to the mom series, okay? Let us
Mhm.
know how y'all feel, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we gonna see y'all at the same time next week.
Peace. That was good. You said you
Yeah.
wouldn't have nothing to say. Look at that.
I know, but I do feel like it was another one of them episodes when I was kind of all over the place.
No, I think you was trying to reel in how you felt about it. Like the